Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Packernet Podcast. I am your host and resident fanalist, as always, Ryan Schlip. Check us out online, packernet.com. Find me on Twitter, pack_dadam. Well, I gotta be honest, folks. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy the Super Bowl. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, but a lot of people are upset. The problem is, and I've said this before, I don't know if this is a unique Packer fan thing or if I'm just alone in this. I love blowouts. I really do. I don't know why, it was boring. Like, dude, boring? That team's getting his teeth kicked in. Screw those guys. You know what I mean? I don't know how the Chiefs got 22 points. I have no idea how that happened. I quit with like 9 minutes left in the fourth, and I was like, I'm going to go record the podcast, and might have got caught up playing a video game for a little bit. But it's over now. Final score, 40-22. Most of those points came in garbage time. I believe last I saw, well, it was 6-40, and I saw they just scored a touchdown, and I was like, oh man, 6-40 would have been a better score. So they obviously got the 2-point conversion, then scored again, got another 2-point conversion. Again, all in garbage time. Basically, the score was 40-6. With almost no time left in the game. But, no, it felt good, man. It was, I think maybe part of it is I forgot how enjoyable just the event can be. The kind of anticipation, the excitement of, you know, the game, and then, you know, all the people are there, and then even when it's done, you got the commercials, and there's something that kind of brings you back. It's a once-a-year thing, so you've only done this a couple times in your life, at least for me. You know, you see the Budweiser commercial, and it's like, oh, yeah, I remember all the Budweiser. Remember the Clydesdales? Budweiser commercial sucked, but, you know, it brings you back. You know, Doritos, always got a Dorito commercial. They've been doing that for decades now. That Dorito commercial was pretty funny. I didn't understand it, but that's fine. Just super random and ridiculous. That's what makes a good commercial. By the way, maybe the two best commercials, shockingly identical. You had was it Domino's or something with the eyebrows, and then Pringles with the mustache, both of them ripped off their face and sort of flying around. Like, you guys hire the same ad agency and they just regurgitated somebody needs a refund, dude. But I thought those were hilarious. That's my style, man. They come in with all these serious ads, and it's like, oh, you can do it, and we can be great together as a human race. And it's like, oh, shut up, stupid. Just be funny. Just be funny. God, you're such a freaking buzzkill. We're all just having a good time. You know, it's a big old party. Everyone's drinking, having a good time. Somebody shows up to the party, and they're crying. Like, what happened? Like, oh, my dog died. Like, what? My dog died. Oh, dang. I'm sorry. And they're just crying through the whole Super Bowl. Like, dude, I'm sorry about the dog, but he's got to go. He's either got to man up and eat a taco and start cheering, or get out of my house. Like, this sucks. Why did he come here? I don't understand why he's here. You should call me tomorrow and just be like, sorry, bro, my dog died. I couldn't show up. No, you actually came here and are crying? Why are you ruining this for everyone? That cringy Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg commercial. I hate you because you're stupid, and I hate you, and I hate you. And Snoop Dogg's like, I hate that we have to do this. And I'm like, bro, you didn't have to do this. We all wish you didn't. Nobody asked for this. Getting talked to about hate and prejudice from a guy that said women ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. Tried to PG that as best as I could. Bro, go away from my TV right now. I'm trying to watch Doritos getting ripped away from a dude by an alien, and then the Doritos blow up his spaceship. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Freaking stupid, bro. Again with this kindergarten class bullcrap. But aside from that, thought the commercials were good. I enjoyed the game. I did say I wanted the Eagles to win, but it's, like I said, it's like if the Vikings and the Bears are playing and you're like, I don't know, man, I think I'm going to pull for the Bears because the Vikings have a better record, so I guess I'm rooting for the Bears. And then the Vikings beat the living dog crap out of the Bears, and I'm cheering, and my son is so confused. He's like, you said? It's like, dog, I don't care. It's not that serious, man. I'm happy right now watching the Bears get stomped out. I can't help it. And this is awesome. And I'm sitting there watching the Chiefs just get their frickin' teeth kicked in with steel-toed boots, and it just filled me with a sense of pride and joy that I didn't know was in there. And I just embraced it. It felt really, really good. And they didn't get their stupid three-peat, and I had to watch Travis Kelce sit over on the sideline and cry with Pat Mahomes, and it just felt good. And what's-her-name was getting booed, and so they didn't really show her anymore because they didn't want her on TV getting booed anymore. So it was just a good day. Do I want the Eagles to win a Super Bowl? No, but that felt a lot better than I thought it would. As far as the halftime show, it was bad. I don't know that it's as bad as social media. I've seen worse. In fact, I think last year or 2 years ago or whatever it was worse. Whatever it was where they were like crawling around and stuff. Like what? That was bad. It was really bad. But, you know, if we're talking, was it in the top half of Super Bowl shows or bottom half? You're probably putting it in the bottom half. That was pretty. I think the very last part kind of saved it for me. The beginning was atrocious. I don't know what was going on, mumbling nonsense. But then when that lady came out, whoever that was, she was really good. She's a good singer. I don't know who she is, but she got a great voice. And then they did his most popular song, and it kind of hit a little bit for me anyways. It was kind of like, okay, this actually sounds like a song. It has like, you know, beat and rhythm, and, you know, it's enjoyable. I don't know what was going on before. It just seemed like a mishmash of words, and Samuel L. Jackson is in like a Uncle Sam suit and is just saying random things like, hey, don't be so loud, kids. And it's like, what? And then he does another song and he comes out and he's like, no, don't do that. And it's like, what? What are you talking? What are you doing? What? And then he does a slow song and he's like, yeah, I like slow songs. It's like, okay. Random. And then he does another not slow song and it's like, take that, Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, no, I like slow songs. What? What are you talking about? But again, the last couple of things there with the lady singing and then the last song, it was like, okay, that saved it a little bit so it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But we were heading in that direction for sure because that sucked. I was thinking about that too because, you know, people are posting like how Prince had like the best halftime show or whatever, and I thought, well, that's where you get these sort of like all-time great artists. And this is what I've been saying since forever. Nobody today will be remembered in 10 years. Nobody. Whatever this Kendrick Lamar or whatever, 5 years from now, nobody cares. They're moving on to somebody else. I feel like 2005-ish was about the cutoff. When I left high school, they're like, all right, he's an adult now. We don't need music or anything anymore. And they just haven't done anything yet. You know, you had like the Beyoncés and stuff around that era, and they're going to be eternal. Since then, who? In 30 years, you know, Prince did his thing. I mean, he was big in like the 80s. He comes out in, 2000 something or another and does the show, and it's the greatest thing ever, and he's still a legend. Who is going from today, in 30 years, are going to be like, let's get that guy, he's great? Zero people. Zero. There's nobody. Nobody cares anymore. So I don't even know who you could get. I think Kendrick Lamar is probably the right pick. Because we got to just go with who's the new flash in the pan, who are all the kids on TikTok listening to, and put them up on the stage, even though that's not, you know, what most football fans are listening to. Still, who are you going to put up there? Like, you can put the Rolling Stones on there for the football fans and watch those skeletons walk around like that? That wouldn't be good. You know, I've always said Metallica would be kind of cool, but I don't think I don't know. I mean, it would be pretty dope, to be honest. Metallica would be pretty awesome. I was going to say it's a little too niche or whatever, but what the heck is Kendrick Lamar? I like rap, and I don't even like whatever that nonsense was that I listened to. But again, it was good. It was fine. I didn't make the meatball subs because my wife made a pizza. She's like, I want pizza. She got you ever had the Aldi pizzas? They're super good. Giant pizzas. She's like, I'm making this. I got it. I want it. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to have that because I'm making this. And then everybody started eating the pizza, and then I got a bunch of chips for the game, and people started eating chips, and I'm like, man, nobody's going to eat my meatball subs. And I'm feeling kind of lazy, so I think I'm just going to eat some pizza and Pringles and just call it a day. So that's what I did. I guess I'm having meatball subs tomorrow by myself. Just get away from me. You don't want my meatball subs? Fine, I'll eat them all myself. Bunch of jerks. Nobody appreciates me. But anyways, Pat Mahomes ended up with a decent stat line now. I mean, not the greatest, but 21 completions, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 95.4 passer rating. If you just eliminate the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes even, 6, 7, whatever it is, of the fourth quarter, they had less than 100 passing yards. Like, I don't think it was 0 touchdowns, but it at one point, maybe it was like in the end of the third, he had like 25 freaking yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. It was a garbage performance. By the way, not entirely Pat Mahomes' fault because he was under pressure constantly, but it feels good to call him garbage because I've been saying that all year, and finally it gets put on TV, which this is a funny thing about it. I've watched almost no Kansas City Chiefs games because I don't care. And you look at the stats, and it's like, Mahomes isn't that good. The team isn't that good. They're like the 8th, 9th, 10th best team. And it's like, how do they have a 15-1 record? How are they the number 1 seed? How are they going to go to win the Super Bowl again this year? How is this all going to happen again? And then you sit down officially and you say, okay, let's watch this team in the Super Bowl. And you watch what appears to be like the 10th best team against the number 1 team. And you're like, I don't get it. Why have they? I really don't understand how they got the record that they did, because this team sucks a lot. They played like themselves, finally. 6 minutes ago, Travis Kelce will not speak to the media tonight. Dang it. Wanted the big announcement. Oh, look. Philly is starting to burn down Philadelphia, so maybe not officially, but they're climbing the polls. One can only hope that, I don't know, they're going to start throwing things at each other or something. Just really cap off the night. The real crazy thing in this game, though, was the rushing. Pat Mahomes was the leading rusher with 25 rushing yards. Hunt, 9 yards. Pirine, 8 yards. Pacheco, 7 yards. Really, the other side did a pretty good job, too. Kept Jalen Hurts to 72 yards, who also led the team in rushing. Saquon Barkley with 57. Travis Kelce with just 4 receptions for 39 yards. The biggest player of the day was actually Xavier Worthy with 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, not that it matters. It was all garbage time bull crap. But anyways, let's take our first break. When we come back, I want to elaborate a little bit on my thoughts on this game and how it translates the big picture for the Green Bay Packers. In fact, there was a tweet that just went out that I just saw that we can open up with to lead into this. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Abdul Carter, who is certainly a top 5 pick, potentially the number 1 pick, tweeted out, defense wins championships, number 1 overall pick, 74 days. You want to know what my takeaway is? It's been my takeaway for a while. It's been most of our takeaways for a while, but watching this game really solidified it. We need to dominate the trenches. We need defensive linemen. Via Next Gen Stats, this is just unbelievable. I'm going to read the second paragraph first. The Eagles generated 16 pressures and sacked Mahomes 6 times, his most in a game in his entire career. That's the second paragraph. Here's the first paragraph. The Eagles did not blitz once on 42 dropbacks in Super Bowl LIX. Is that 59? L is 50, IX is 9. Just the 4th defense to not blitz in a game in the NGS era. That is unfreaking believable. In the Super Bowl, they didn't blitz. I mean, I'm guessing that wasn't officially the plan going in, but they were so effective they never needed to bring extra pressure. They would have done it if they needed to. They were shockingly effective, and they just said, why? Why bother? They can't stop our front 4. The Eagles played zone coverage in all but 2 dropbacks, specifically cover 4, 59.5% of the time, the 3rd highest rate by a defense in a game since 2018. Vic Fangio's defense held Mahomes to his 2nd worst performance by EPA in a game in his career, negative 19.3. Now, asking to replicate that performance is maybe asking a little bit too much, but as I'm watching that, first of all, a couple things. Number 1, we've talked about Sweat possibly being an available person. Josh Sweat had 2.5 sacks in this game. No guarantee he's actually going to hit the market, but that was one thing that kept coming up every time I heard his name, which felt like it was every 30 seconds. Dude probably got himself a little bit of a pay raise either way to be able to pull off that performance, but again, another pass rusher that's doing some stuff. But leaving aside Josh Sweat specifically, I was sitting back watching that going, you know what, go get 2 guys. Get 2 guys. Yeah, it'd be cool to get the offensive line, get a beast up there, get a corner, get whatever, get a wide receiver. I don't know, man. Maybe just get two guys on that line. I don't care if it's a D tackle or an edge. I mean, presumably one of them would be an edge, whether the second one is an edge or a defensive tackle. Whatever. Just whatever you got to do, whatever. Whatever, man. Just whatever. We got to win up front, man. We got to win with 4, period, end of story. We got to terrorize people up front. People seize trash truck in Philadelphia as celebrations continue over Eagles Super Bowl. These people do not deserve a friggin' Super Bowl. Whatever, it's fine. Run that frickin' thing through an empty building. I don't care what you do. Light it on fire. Go ahead. That'll show them. That'll show them all. And, you know, the NFL is cyclical. I mean, things change. I think every single team, whether it's right or wrong, every single team sits back and they watch the playoffs and they watch the Super Bowl and they watch what great teams are doing and they say, we need to be able to do that. And Gutekunst has already come out and said it. And a lot of people have come out and said it, including players, at least player, you know. But, you know, I'm watching that team and I'm thinking, man, just do it. I don't even know what that means, but just do it hard. Do it real hard. All right? Fights across Philly after the victory. What are you fighting about? What are you doing? Whatever. Just the Chiefs lost. It's glorious. It's beautiful. I love it. Police officer hit on the head as cops move through massive crowd of Eagles fans celebrating Super Bowl win. How is that a celebration? Only Eagles fans are that scummy that a celebration includes beating the crap out of each other, stealing things like garbage trucks, destroying your city, assaulting police officers. Here's what I propose. Let's move the Eagles out of Philly. I don't have a problem with the team. I don't have a problem with Jalen, the tush push. AJ's a freak. It's a good football team. Can we just move them somewhere? I think that would make this day almost perfect. The only thing that sucks is that these people are happy. Not the ones getting beat up necessarily or having their city destroyed, which is all of them. And I guess Eagles fans that don't live in Philly are probably less douchey to begin with, I would assume, because I'm just guessing it's a Philly thing. I don't know what the problem is. Oh, the disdain that I have. But Chiefs lost, and that's a good thing. But yeah, we have got to, that has to be the priority. The bottom line is that there's a lot of things that need to be done. And I don't want to be overdramatic because I don't necessarily like doing these kinds of things. But I want to go so far as to say if we play in 2025 and we don't have a dominant defensive line, we failed. Now, again, overgeneralization. It's possible we don't hit on that, but we hit on other stuff, and we go on to win the Super Bowl, and you said, and you were wrong, and you're an idiot. Fine. But I'm going to say it anyways, because that's how strongly I'm feeling about it at the moment. If we don't fix the problem on the defensive line one way or another, that's a failure. You got to attack it aggressively. You have to. Because the Chiefs just got embarrassed. They got freaking embarrassed. That quarterback was under more duress than he's ever been in his entire life, and they did not blitz one time. Again, that's not even really replicable, even by the Eagles. They didn't do that all year. They'll probably never do that again. But opponents can't win when you do that. If you have a defensive line that can impose to that degree, which, by the way, that's exactly why the Lions want to go for a guy like Myles Garrett. Because if you have Aiden Hutchinson and Myles Garrett, you will do that every single week, and you're going to dominate. Can't let that happen. But that really was one of my biggest takeaways from this entire thing. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. So I don't know if... You know what? No, we're going to save it for tomorrow. It's too random to bring it up today. We'll save it for tomorrow. I'll tell you what we're going to do today. I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do some calls, and we're going to start from the end to see if we can get some calls about the Super Bowl. And so, Nico, actually, I think this is the only call that is from the Super Bowl, so we'll see how far this gets us. Nico, what's up?
Hey, this is Nico, from Idaho. So I have to, I guess, make an amendment because I know I called and said I wanted the Chiefs to win, via horrible roughing. to make the NFL look bad. That's how we started. That's how we started the game. And I was outside cooking and walking in and watching the first part, so I didn't really see every play in the beginning. Then I walked in there, oh, there's already a bad call, and I was like, oh, cool. But then as the game went on and the Chiefs started to just get beat like a redheaded stepchild. I don't know where that expression came from. I don't know why you'd beat a redheaded stepchild, but okay, all I know is it's an expression. But they got pounded. I mean, just they were made to look like absolute. I guess you call them a poverty franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like the New England Seattle game. My heart was happy. So it's like pick which crappy team you want to win. I could make the argument that I wanted the Eagles to lose too, but it was just so fun watching Kelsey's stupid, weird-looking face and Patrick Mahomes' cheesy hairdo. I mean, it was just, it was great. So maybe we can say that if any good came out of this, maybe them getting beat so bad on TV and made to look so bad. Maybe it's the end of the Chiefs' reign, If the Eagles killed that bus, then I got to hand it to them because I thought for sure they were going to win more Super Bowls than the Patriots. Although they still might, but if the Eagles, if they crush that ship, then I'm okay with that. So, well, I'm gonna go inside and probably just play some Call of Duty or something dumb because it's a little cold outside here. So hey, go Pack go! Here's to not having to worry about the Eagles or the Chiefs in another Super Bowl for quite a while.
Well, we are entirely in sync once again, not surprisingly. The only thing that we have differently going on is that I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. But, you just said, like, verbatim what I said. I went into it saying I hope the Chiefs win because I don't want the Eagles, and I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But I'll be honest, I think I was just wrong. It's not even just that I changed my mind as I was watching it and enjoyed it, because it's like, I'll take this too as like a consolation, because if they're going to lose, I hope they lose big. I'm sitting here right now really happy with the outcome, not upset at all. I think the thought of let's go back and change it and have the Chiefs win makes me ill. I don't know about you, Nico, but it's not even, I came into this, I even said it on the podcast, it's sort of like a nice second place. It's not. I think this is better. If I had the opportunity to go back and change it and take this away from the Eagles and let the Chiefs, in fact, the Chiefs could dominate the Eagles, that would make me sick. I don't want that. I don't want that. This was the right outcome. The Eagles are better. The Chiefs are not that good. They're not good enough to beat the Eagles. They shouldn't have beat the Eagles. I even predicted the Chiefs would win, and what did I say? I said, it doesn't make sense. They're not the better team, but that's just what happens. And I said, if the Chiefs actually show up and play like what they actually are, and if the Eagles can actually show up and play 4 quarters of consistent football, they'll win the game. But that's probably not going to happen because it's the freaking Chiefs, and they just never. It was a cynical attitude, but the Chiefs were clearly the lesser team here. And the thought of Mahomes and Kelsey and the whole crew up there just celebrating and being like, oh, yeah, we're so good. We're the greatest. Everybody is so great. It's like this it's the prom king and queen, and everything just goes right for us all the time. And I was just wrong. I was just flat out wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. That's stupid. Let the Eagles get their second Super Bowl in 5 years or whatever stupid. I mean, it was what, Foles? Gives a crap. That doesn't even count. That was a fluke. Nick Foles Super Bowl stupidity. And there's no three-peat, and there's no, that doesn't count with the Packers. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, guess what? It doesn't matter because you can't even do it, you freaking douche. Wow, you went to the Super Bowl? Great. Yeah, Packers did it twice. They three-peated twice. So, why don't you go ahead and shove it, bro? Oh, feels good, man. It just feels, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling refreshed. I didn't realize. I guess I didn't even know how deep in my soul I can't stand the Chiefs and how good it felt to watch them just crushed. I didn't know that was in me. I had no idea. I knew I didn't like the Chiefs. I thought I was a little bit more indifferent, and I thought I disliked the Eagles more than I did, and now I watched this thing happen, and I'm very much at peace with it. I think the most annoying thing is the Cooper DeJean got a pick 6 in here, and we all like Cooper DeJean, and the Packers didn't pick him, and I just really hope Jordan Morgan's a very good offensive football player. That's all I can say, because that makes me a little bit sad. And I know I'm going to have to hear about it all the time from Packer fans talking about how much Gooch sucks because they didn't take Cooper DeJean. It's like, oh, God. It's like on top of the pain, you're being annoyed, you know? It's the worst part about the Packers losing because it's like, oh, I'm just, my heart is ripped into 60,000 pieces. And then all the negative Packer fans have to come in and say, yes, team sucks, and Jordan sucks, and Gooch sucks, and LaFleur sucks. And it's like, you know what? I can't handle this right now. All right, I can't handle you right now. I can't handle me right now. So just back up. So, but I'm happy. Well, the call before that was at 4:00, so that's before the Super Bowl. So I guess we'll scrap that plan. Thank you, Nico, for providing me a little bit of content. I appreciate that. Plan D. Travis Kelce supposedly not speaking to the media did speak to the media. It was not about. It wasn't about retiring, unfortunately, which, again, I don't think he's going to do, but I hope he does. But his comments were pretty straightforward, but still somewhat gratifying just to hear him say the words. Says, couldn't get it going offensively. I mean, they just got after us in all three phases. And then on top of that, turnovers, penalties, playing behind the sticks on offense is just ... Drop passes, not taking advantage of the play call and executing them. There's a lot that goes into it. You don't lose like that without everything going bad. And then he goes on to say the line, we haven't played that bad all year, which I got to be honest, as a Packer fan, feels real good. Because it always feels like, oh, it always just happens to us. And it's like, no, it happens to everybody, except the Chiefs. Everybody has that just terrible game when it matters the most. If you don't believe me, just go look at playoff games. Look at how every game was a blowout. These teams just played like garbage. Like, what are you doing, dude? It happens all the time. I don't know why. It's stupid. It's freaking annoying. But the reason teams like the Chiefs go on to win Super Bowls all the time is because they're the disciplined teams that don't make the mistakes and play, just sound disciplined football. And they played like dog crap. Their offensive line couldn't block. Pat Mahomes looked like Desmond Ridder. Even the refs, I mean, they had maybe like 2 egregious calls, possibly 3. I don't even think they showed the replay of the one. I think the worst call of the entire day was when the Chiefs jumped off sides and they called offsides on the Eagles. And they're like, yeah, the center moved. And you look at it, it's like, that dude literally didn't even move. His head did not move. Like, I remember on the replay, they're like, oh, did he snap his head real fast or whatever? His head did not move. He just snapped the ball. And instead of giving them a first down, which they should have gotten, they ended up making a harder field goal. But they made the field goal anyway, so it's fine. And I think it all worked out because I don't know that it actually should have been offsides because they got back, so it just shouldn't have been a penalty. I don't know. But it's like, even the refs are like, bro, I don't... There's not much we could do for you here, man. Like we tried with a couple, but you're not doing anything right now. I don't think we can help this. But yeah, it feels good. It feels good to watch the Chiefs get embarrassed on the world's largest stage because they just didn't show up and they crapped the bed. And it's like, see? That's what happens sometimes, when you suck, I guess. All right, let's do this final thing here. Again, I maybe you don't care. I want Travis Kelce out of the NFL. It's driving me nuts. The guy's super old. He's rich. Put a ring on that lady so that, and again, don't sign anything and you're set for life. And then you live happily ever after, obviously. I mean, I hope you guys are happy. I'm just saying, just in case it doesn't work out, you're getting a cool couple billion freaking dollars. But he is 35 years old. And that wasn't the greatest performance in the world. And maybe he's slowing down. They got the podcast going. You got so much going on. How much do you want to put in the effort? Again, you want to do this again? Pat Mahomes was asked about it, about the potential retirement. And, I just try to listen to the words to see, is he leaning one way or another? I don't know. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? Here's what Mahomes said. He'll make that decision on his own. He's given so much to the team and to the NFL. It's been such a joy not just to me to work with, but for the people to watch. He knows he still has a lot of football left in him. You can see it. He always makes big plays in the biggest moments. It's just if he wants to put in that grind. It's a grind to go out there and play 20 games and get to the Super Bowl. I know he still has love for the game. He'll get to spend some time with his family and make that decision on his own. He knows he'll come back with open arms. We love that guy not only for the football player, but for the person he is every single day. So kind of like a pitch. You know, he's saying, it's up to him what he wants to do, but that was a straight up pitch. I know he's got passion and he can still do it, and we're going to welcome him back, and it's going to be great. But he's got to work that out on his own. It is a fair question though, man. This is what, like guys like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and, all the quarterbacks go through it, but everybody does. You get to that point, assuming your body can hold up and you can keep playing 35, 36, 37 years old. That's why a lot of guys don't go through this. But if you're on the better half of 30 and you're set for life financially and your body's not holding up as well, you got to work twice as hard just to maintain your body, much less all this other stuff. You got 22-year-olds just coming in and knocking your head off. Barely, they're staying up eating, Domino's pizza all night and just destroying you because they're freaking just young and athletic and built and freaks. Their bodies are building, your body's deteriorating. They're kicking the crap out of you, and you're like, bro, the money I'm going to make this year is more than that kid is going to make his whole life. And he just knocked my head off. All the work that you have to do for what? It's got to just be the love of the game. It's not for money anymore. I'm trying to do a reverse pitch in my own head. Please don't do it, Travis. Go away. Go do your podcast with your brother. But all right, Super Bowl time is done. Tomorrow we're back on schedule. We're talking Packers, we're talking off-season, we're talking the NFL draft. For tonight, I'm checking out. Going to play a little Kingdom Come Deliverance until I start getting text messages, where are you? You know how it goes. You guys have a good rest of your night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.